Well, folks, it looks like cartel warfare has officially kicked off, and Mexico is in chaos. And Juan Savin is with me today. He's going to explain further what the hell's going on in Mexico, what steps are going to be taken to neutralize the threat. Because, folks, this was a sincere and serious threat. But first, folks, are you worried about Medicare or not? And I love my family, to be honest, folks. More interested in their, not for clicks, not for sponsorships, send them to everyone I know. The extra pressure, no games. This is important. If you're already on the right plan, they'll tell you more than that. If you're turning 65, it's going to benefit more. My elderly group on this. Find out if the plan you're on is the right one for you folks. All right, Juanito.
Hey,
let's get into this, man. Well, Mexico's kicked off with chaos finally. I've been talking about this for a very long time. I've said, you know what? It's only a matter of time before cartel warfare kicks off. I lived through it. I've seen it in Juarez, and now it looks like the whole damn country is erupting.
well, I mean, Mexico, I mentioned this when we were talking the other day. It was more dangerous living in Mexico over the last several decades than it was to live in Afghanistan or even Iraq. Now, think about that. It was a much deadlier environment, the chaos, the war, the extremities taking place. Pretty horrific. So, at some point, it's just like 𝗬𝗵𝗶𝗀, saying that she's afraid that exactly what you're saying, Nino, that violence could break out all over the place. Well, which is better? Have it go on for 3 or 4 decades, continue on for another 3 or 4 decades, or go in and go to war. And by the way, I guarantee you, Nino, that the Mexican military, backed up by U.S. Policing and military, is bigger, tougher, and meaner than any and all of the cartels. Throw them all together. They may be violent, they may be vicious.
That's not my concern, Juanito. My concern here is innocent civilians. They're going to be no holds barred. They're going to go after every innocent civilian. When in Ciudad Juarez, Juanito, they walked into restaurants, elementary schools, and they mowed down innocent people just to make a statement or just to get one person. So my view is, I think they know this is a war they can't win. No doubt about it. I think this is a war they know they cannot win. But what they can do
is saying the cartels can't win.
Hold on. What they can do is put mud on Trump's face and make this very, very ugly for him.
Again, either you're going to have it out or you're not. At this point, if you're going to live under a constant threat of the mob is coming after you, which the people are, well, you got to decide enough is enough, and you're going to fight. And yes, civilians are in danger. We had the State Department put out the warning to shelter in place for all Americans in the Jalisco region. By the way, just a couple of years ago, I was dealing with key folks out of the Jalisco region, which is where 𝗵𝗏𝗯𝗏 and places like that are on the western coast. And they're working about 50 miles south of 𝗵𝗏𝗯𝗏, being the largest tourist city attraction on planet Earth. But they couldn't get to completion because of the cartels. They still want to build this amazing area. And by the way, you've got the Olympic or the World Finals with soccer coming there in June. Everybody involved needs to know right now that Trump and team, 𝗬𝗵𝗶𝗀, they're going to come in there and they're going to clean this up, and they're not going to take 4 months to do it because they don't want the World Cup finals.
Hold on, the World Cup is this year, right, in Mexico?
Yeah. And
so they got to clean this up before. So were they anticipating a terrorist attack for the World Cup, Juanito?
Well, that's part of the point. If you don't go in there and do this now, how are you gonna protect all those people that want to come in for the World Cup? Mexico wants to look good. we've been offering to go in there and take care of business for quite a while, and it's been Mexico that's been hesitant to do it. And so, you know, we're going to take care of stuff at the border. Remember, this is further down in Mexico. Up at the border, we're pushing hard. The Trump administration is pushing hard to create a buffer somewhere between 10 and 30 miles into Mexico. The cartels all operate in that zone right up next to the border where they think they're safe. Well, when we have complete authority to operate in that region, both policing and military, anywhere the cartels are at, with the cooperation from the Mexican government, they definitely won't be threatening us in that zone. We're going to kick them out of their roosts. You know, they've got very nice little nests all along there. Well, they're going to have to pull up stakes out of those nests because we're going to destroy every last fucking one of them, and then carry the fight to them. Now, this stuff, that is happening right now, they went in to arrest these people, 𝗬𝗪𝗪 and like that, and ended up in a gunfight. And we had 3 of the Mexican police security forces that were injured in the gunfight, 4 of them, and that died during this, thing. They tried to airlift 𝗬𝗪𝗪 out to Mexico City because he was shot up pretty good, but he died on the way. So,
well,
the
they
version is the fight's on. Fight's on, just like you said, fight's on.
They captured his son, but you were telling me on the phone, and I think you're okay with me saying this, that it was a preemptive strike, right? We took out 𝗫𝗪𝗪, or what his name is.
Well, we didn't do it.
𝗫𝗪𝗪.
Yeah, 𝗫𝗪𝗪.
Fuck, I forgot his name already. Is it Mincho or Menchie's or Mentos?
Yeah, Mementos. Yeah, he's a memento now. But you have to think about this, Nino. We're being very, very, very careful to allow the Mexican policing forces to take credit for this. Yes, we had collaborative work was done and complementary information that was done. You don't think that the Mexican police actually didn't know or couldn't find where this guy was at?
Well, I think you're right, because I know the cartel.
They had a great idea. We just, the time had come, and it was Mexican police forces who did the actual direct action and reached out and touched him. And so there was no U.S. forces involved other than providing information for the Mexican police to go in there and do what they did. So they're going to get to own this. They will own it. 𝗫𝗪𝗪's owned it. The cartels have immediately struck out there, burning buses and buildings and threatening Americans and all the stuff you expect. Okay, show yourself. Go ahead and do that. You think we haven't been monitoring where you're at, who you are? Watch what happens next. Fight's on. We can come in and clean up what's going on there pretty quick. We can assist the Mexican policing and military forces to do what they actually do very well. So will it be U.S. personnel and troops doing this? No, but we're providing lots of really cool information. And by the way, he was getting massive assistance, support, security from the Chinese and from the Cubans. We're not done. We're headed for Cuba. We are going to go clean people's asses up in Cuba.
How long do you think this operation takes to take out the cartels in Mexico? Because this is going to get, I'm sure it's going to get really ugly.
Well, you don't necessarily do everything all at once. And the different cartels feel bad about what's happened here, and they want to be a little bit cooperative. Divide and conquer. We're starting over here in 𝗪𝗪𝗪 State because this is where the World Cup stuff was going to have.
Wow, I never even thought about that, Juanito. I didn't even think about the World Cup thing. All right, Juanito, thank you for joining me on YouTube. Now let's go to ninoscorner.tv and wrap it up there.
Hey, by the way, Nino, here, okay, we got a lot of people in this audience that had relatives and like that still haven't had the red pill yet. So we have a new red pill combination here. See, this is a double red pill. Some of the people won't be able to be red pill.
Looks like you're eating cookies again, Juanito.
No, that's a red pill. All we've done is make it so that
I don't know,
a lot of
Juanito,
people
you're right.
can't. They just can't get it down. So we've made it into some bite-sized pieces, but it's double strength. Look at that, double strength red pill. What more could you ask for, man?
All right, folks, you want the red pill? Let's go to ninoscorner.tv and go to 𝗑𝗓𝗓mac.com, 𝗑𝗓𝗓mac.com.
Well, you know what? Jen's got the thing for the May 17th, the 517 pack over her site, and that's fantastic. And then, by the way, look at what's going on with silver. It's come back up just like I told you.
Yep.
It's probably got, just so people don't get screwed up before we let it go to here, Nino, they're going to hit it one more time here, so don't be surprised you don't see another good flop or two before it goes the rest way where it's going, because there's the whole banking world is on the hook here related to what has to be done with the metals and where Trump's going. So
well, let's get to
I just want people to know, don't
right.
think that if you get another hit that it's going to stay that way. They'll come in a little bit, but it's recovering and on its way quite nicely. So anyway, bro.
All right, well, I want to know more about the operation in Mexico, Colombia, and Cuba, Juanito. Let's go to Nino's Corner.
All right.
All right, folks, here.